Welcome to the Sytline 9 User Interface course. This video is on the last section of Lesson 2, Editing Records. It's moving data to and from Excel. If a lot of people use this in the very beginning, moving their data from a different system and getting into Excel, it's also helpful on more of the financial side. If they want to move something over to Excel, maybe analyze it, and then bring it back into Sytline. There's maybe a couple examples I can think of. I don't know, John, if you have any examples you can offer as well.
Yeah, I know one that a lot of people are, use is in the budgets and plans. They'll take the information into Excel, and then there's so many great features for manipulating that data and calculating what the budget and plan should be. That's just awesome. So then they do it in Excel, and then they just do a copy and paste back into Sytline, and then they've got their budget and plan. So there's one good example right there.
Yep, a lot on the
Julie?
financial side I could see. Okay, very good. So here's some key points here, and it's just copying and collection. If you're going to go back to this after class or after the video and you want to read up on all this, you can see there's different ways we can highlight, or there's a button, and John will show you once we get over to the exercise as well. So there's a Tool Excel menu option. You can see down below there's a highlighting method if you like highlighting the data. On the next page, there's different ways we can copy selected rows. And then towards the bottom there, you see copy selected columns. So again, it gives you step-by-step for all these options. Copy and selected cells are on the next page of the training guide. Copying a single cell or multiple cells.
And this is all talking about, when you're looking at the data in the grid view, that's what we're talking about here with cells and et cetera. We're saying we can copy those out of Sytline and take those out to Excel. When we try to bring them back, it'll bring them back as a record. And so you just have to know that you can copy out, but it'll bring back as a record.
Yeah, we definitely want to move into the grid mode when we're doing this. This Excel option here. So, and then it talks about on the next page, pasting from a spreadsheet back into the grid. It says back in the Sytline. And then again, lots more step-by-step and even some helpful hints there and some warnings for you to read over. So I think I'll have John show you this demo example of taking something from the purchase order area from Sytline to Excel, modify it, and bring it back.
Okay. So the first thing is, well, let's see how it works to copy something onto Excel. And again, there are a lot of reasons why you might want to do that and never really bring something back in. Maybe you want to take it out to do some analysis. That's always something that you might want to do. And so the way that you do that is you go out to your form. Let's do this. This is for purchase order lines form, and we're going to filter for vendor 1. And so I'm going to go out here, and here's my purchase order lines form, and I'll put in vendor number 1 here. And I'm actually going to add in another status of planned, because I'm going to change some things about these and bring them back in. And orders with the status of filled or whatever, I don't want to be messing around with those. So I run my filter, and it says here, okay, there are 6 of these. Now I can put it into grid mode, and I could highlight all of this, right, and just do a Control-C copy and paste it over into Excel. It's that easy, right? I could do that. I've got an action up here that says to Excel, or I've got this little icon or button up here that I can use to do that. And I'm going to use that, but just notice I can do all of it, or I could highlight a couple of rows, and I can copy and paste those out. Whatever method you like, you can. I'm just going to click the button here, though, and it says, okay, do you want to match the sequence of columns in the related grid? This is actually really important. I say yes. It says, okay, I've got that. I've got this. Do you want me to open the file? And I say, yep, go ahead and do it. And I should see it here. It's the third one that I've done. There they are. Let's order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all for vendor 1, and they're all a status of planned. Now, here's the deal. I just said that this column sequence was important. And if I'm just going to Excel, then, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if I am trying to copy things back from Excel into Syteline, I have to make sure that the column sequences match up. If they don't, then what's going to happen is, let's say that I put maybe vendor name as the first column over here, and I try to paste that in. I'm just going to start to get all sorts of error messages because the system is validating as it's pasting this stuff in, and it's thinking I'm trying to use this, you know, bicycle parts company in a numeric field. And so it's just critical to do that. But anyway, it's very easy to get it out. Hey, here it is. If I want to do some reporting on this, I can. You know, it was that quick to get it back to Excel. Now let's go back to the next thing. Paste overwrite from Excel. This is where we get to pasting back in. So it says, find one of these, change the quantity of the line, copy the line, go back to the purchase order lines form, and just overwrite what you have. So I'm going to come out here. Whoops. I'm going to go back out to Excel. And I'll say, you know what? PO 30 line 1, I'm going to change this quantity to 127. Now, of course, you know, if you wanted to just change that, then you would just change that in the form. Big deal. We're just showing you this to show you how, if you change a couple of things in Excel, how it's easy to get it back in. In fact, you know what? I'll just do that right here. I'll say 3/31, 2014. You know, there's another cell. And maybe there's a whole bunch of other data that I've massaged or done things with in Excel. Now it's time to copy this back in. So I'm going to highlight the row. And I've copied it. I've pressed Control-C. Now I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to find that one. 30, right here. This is the guy that I'm talking about. And I'm going to make sure that that is the row that I've selected. I'll come up here and I'll say, paste, overwrite. And now notice what just happened there. Let's go back to this. Here I've got my date. Here I've got my order quantity. This was already hooked up to another order and said, ooh, we unlinked it, right? So notice that it's validating, and I think that's an important point to point out. It's validating this data as we bring it back into Excel. And it'll let you know if you've got errors or if you do some unlinking or something like that. Okay, so that's that one. It says paste append. Well, it says, okay, let's just go ahead and add another line over there in Excel and then add that to the list of orders that we have. How would I do that? Well, I'll go over here and I'll say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to paste this here. Oops. And I'm going to add in 2 new lines. And I'm going to put in here CP-20,000, FL-20,000, and I'm going to give them all a date of 3/31/2014. And we'll do a quantity of 50 and 43, just so it's easy to see which ones they are. And I'm going to come back and I'll highlight them. Got that data, and it's copied. Now it's in the clipboard. I do not go over here and select Control-V. That's not how I do it. I come up to the edit menu and I say paste rows append, which just means wherever your cursor is, insert a couple of new rows. And so it's working, and it says, oh, wait a minute, we don't have a contract for that. Should I do that? And I say, go ahead. And again, it's validating this. And you can see right here I've got now 2 new records. This one was modified, and I haven't saved it to the database. I can, and then everything's good. Or if I decided, oh, that isn't exactly what I wanted to do, I can undo it and then redo whatever I needed to do. But I mean, folks, that's how easy it is to move data out to Excel and then move it back. And the key is right up here: paste rows, append, paste rows, overwrite. That's what we're talking about right there. All right, Julie, I think that brings us to the end of this exercise. Did you have anything else that you wanted to focus on?
No, I don't. I think that was very good, and I think some people really feel like Excel is their comfort area, their product they're used to, so I think that'll make a lot of people happy that they can get over to Excel and manipulate it that way. Very good.
Yeah, and again, there's a lot of text here. Go ahead and read through that, do the exercises. And this ends the clip.